Hi there, welcome to Prime Sports with me, Razak Musbao. Now, Africa's football governing body, CAF, has conducted a draw for the qualifying series for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. The competition, which has been scheduled to start on December 21 of next year and end on January 18, 2026, will take place in Morocco. Now, Ghana will begin its journey for an 11 consecutive AFCON appearance in September of this year. The Black Stars have been placed in Group F, where they will face Sudan, managed by former Ghana captain and coach Kwesi Appiah, alongside Angola and Niger. Now, Joy Sports' Daniel Krante has been studying the group and has more in this one.
Yeah, so the Black Stars are in Group F, drawn along with Angola, Niger, and Sudan. Angola were in Ghana's qualifying group for the last AFCON. Remember, the Black Stars won in Kumasi and then drew away in Rwanda. The two teams will meet again in this qualifying series. Also, another familiar face, not necessarily the team, but the man who's in charge of the team, Kwesi Appiah, former Black Stars head coach. He's in charge of Sudan. So Ghana will have 2 goals at Kwesi Appiah. Sudan has started really well in the World Cup qualifying, and the Black Stars will have to go past Kwesi Appiah's side if they want to make another AFCON appearance. Niger, obviously, Black Stars in recent history have not necessarily faced that team, but Ghana will be wary considering our recent form when it comes to qualifying, and then the AFCON in itself. It's not really been the best for Ghana. But when you look at this group on the surface, you expect Ghana to be able to qualify, especially because the top 2 teams will qualify at the end of the day.
Well, head coach for the Sudanese side, Kwesi Appiah, has been speaking, and he's hoping that his team will qualify for the tournament alongside his native country, Ghana. First, the draw, of course, we mentioned, did put Ghana in the same group with Sudan, and they will be hoping to qualify out of the group. And he's been speaking to 3 Sports, and we've got the code for you over there. And, you know, he says that, I've always said there are no minnows in football now. And he goes on to say it is really important that any team you meet, you prepare very, very well and make sure you have the right team to try and win the day. Kwesi Appiah. Now, he goes on to say that personally, I also think and hope that Ghana and Sudan qualify in that group. For now, I think that is what I can say. I wish both teams the best. That's the head coach of the Sudanese side, Kwesi Appiah, and he will be leading the team in the qualifiers against Ghana, Niger, and Angola. Now, one of the issues that have come up following this draw is Kwesi Appiah's role both as head coach of the Sudanese national team and as a member of the Ghana Football Association Executive Council. Now, this has raised concerns about a potential conflict of interest. Now, Joy Sports Vitachi Tomaklo has been studying this, and he joins me on phone to help us appreciate why this is an issue and what could possibly be done about it. Atu, thank you very much, and I hope you can hear me. First of all, though, let me just get your quick reaction to the draw the group Ghana find themselves in. You, based on the Black Stars' current performance, you think, will this be an easy bye for Ghana?
Ghanaians have come to expect the Black Stars qualify for every AFCON, and it's for good reason. We have typically done well, irrespective of what form the Stars have been in, whether or not we're going through a transition period. And if you look at the composition of this group, these are exactly the sort of opponents that we have always managed to perform over. Niger, we have an impeccable record against them, met them in 8 AFCON qualifiers. Ghana have won every single of them, scored 21 goals in that time and conceded that twice. Against Angola, the last time we met in an AFCON qualifier over 2 matches, we did not lose. We won at home and then we drew on the road. Our last meeting in the AFCON itself, the Black Stars managed to beat them by 1-0. I think that was in 2010 at the quarterfinal stage when Angola actually hosted the competition. Sudan, we may have lost the most recent meeting between the 2 sides, but typically we've always done well against them, including beating them to secure qualification for the AFCON just recently. And so, yes, we have good reason to be optimistic that the Black Stars will qualify.
To that potential conflict of interest there, you've been studying it. Can you help us appreciate exactly why, you know, it's an issue of concern and what you think maybe the Ghana Football Association could do about it?
Well, it is an issue of concern, first because of the character in question. who has intimate knowledge of Ghana football by virtue of his career, the Black Stars player, captain the Black Stars, got close to winning the AFCON as a player, actually won it. And then became a coach, qualified Ghana to the AFCON in 2013, qualified Ghana, made it to the semis of that competition, and only finished in 4th place. Of course, in a dead rubber affair against Mali, but generally with a strong performance, qualified Ghana in 2019 to the round of 16 of the AFCON. So he knows the team quite well. The main issue for me here has to be the fact that he is a member of the Executive Council. He is still a member of Asante Kotoko's IMC because there has not been any communication from him, the club, or its owner that he has cut ties with them. And it's currently the head coach of the Sudanese national team. You see, when he won the elections to become a member of the Executive Council, was sworn in with the others. And just like every member of the council, presumably swore an oath of office to, among many things, prioritize the development of Ghana football, which presumably includes the Black Stars of Ghana. Now, the Executive Council, by convention, takes charge of the seminal issues in Ghana football. They, in practice, will approve the Black Stars program for the year, including budget, before it gets even forwarded to the sports ministry for them to then peruse it and say that they are going to pay. So, by his position, he will be privy to intimate knowledge of the Black Stars, the team's program, including even technical ones, because if the protocol office has to send out invites to players who have been invited or selected for the national team by the head coach of the team, they would have to ratify that process and work with them, including issues of buying tickets for the Black Stars coach if he has to go and monitor which players. And so even without getting to see the Black Stars list, he will have full access to every relevant detail around the team. Moreover, by virtue of his position on the Executive Council, members of the Ghana Football Association and sympathizers and interested parties of Ghana football will be required to pass on to him information that is deemed relevant for the progress or the otherwise of Ghana football. Information that requires immediate attention. If there is anyone to work or be given such information so that an action will be taken in furtherance of same, Kwesi Appiah would fall into the bracket of such personalities by virtue of his position on the Executive Council. So it is not right that for such a person who is in such a position then be employed by another federation in a job that essentially requires him to go toe-to-toe with Ghana, and thanks to this draw, will be required to compete with Ghana and make it his business to ensure the failure of Ghana, especially over the 2 games.
So, I mean,
even though there is an...
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, just progressively, though, will you suggest that out of good conscience, Kwesi Appiah himself resigns, but the event he fails to do so, what action will you expect of the Ghana Football Association? You know,
for me, it's a no-brainer. I'm not sure where Kwesi Appiah's priorities lie, but one of these has to go. There is no way he'll be able to perform his task for both entities without the rules overlapping, without there being a conflict of interest. And so there's no question here. For his personal integrity, for his personal reputation, he has to decide that he is going to advance one cause at the expense of the other and quickly communicate that so that we're all clear on where his loyalties will lie. Because the reality is that even if Kwesi decides out of good conscience to not show up or to not perform his role as an Executive Council member, that would also be a clear case of dereliction of duty. Because it is a job that, by the statutes of the Ghana Football Association, has to be performed by someone. So he cannot say that because there is an overlap here, he's not going to perform that role while holding himself an Executive Council member. The right thing to do, if he wants to walk away from that position, is to resign from his role as a member of the Executive Council with immediate effect. If he wants to take that job and continue acting as a member of the Executive Council, then he needs to resign from his role as head coach of the Sudanese team. Even maybe his role at Kumasi Asante Kotoko, because there are those who have questioned how that overlaps with his job as a Black Star. If Kwesi is unable to do any of these, the GFA itself has to take it upon themselves. And I think that a simple conversation between the Executive Council, the FA President, and Kwesi Appiah should be able to make it clear where Kwesi's mind is. Right? Because if Kwesi wants to walk away from this, the FA may not be required to take any action, because in the end, what we all want is a resolution of this clear case of conflict of interest. So I think effective immediately, there has to be a conversation between the Executive Council, the GFA President, and Kwesi Appiah to know where Kwesi's mind is.
Interesting.
Unless, of course, he's being stubborn about it and has an inexplicable inertia towards walking away from one of these jobs, the FA then doesn't necessarily need to intervene. But if it doesn't, for me, it's a no-brainer. They have to intervene and find a way to cut ties with Kwesi Appiah.
Victor Achutamakolo there. Thank you very much, Achu. And we wait to see in the following days how this very conflict of interest develops, whether Kwesi Appiah will go ahead and resign or will have to force the Ghana Football Association to act on this. We'll try and get comment also from the Ghana Football Association. But let's move away from football and turn attention to the legendary boxer Azumah Nelson, because he has launched an inspiring new initiative called the Zoom Zoom Clinic. Now, the initiative, which was unveiled earlier today at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, seeks to combine mentorship, boxing training, and community engagement to uplift and empower young people. We've got more for you in the following report.
The initiative was launched on Thursday, July 4, 2024, at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly in partnership with GCB Bank, the Ministry of Education, the Ghana Boxing Federation, and the Ghana Education Service. The clinics will be rolled out in 4 regions: Tamale, Takoradi, Kumasi, and Accra, aiming to combine mentorship, boxing training, and community engagement to uplift and empower young people. Azumah Nelson's storied career as a boxing world champion has made him a household name, not only in Ghana, but globally. As part of giving back to society, the former world champion is channeling his passion and experience into a program that seeks to provide more than just physical training.
You know, if you look at our children today, the life, the respect, the humbleness, they're hungry and things that they're supposed to do. You know, they couldn't. I can't see things like that. You know, so I was sitting down and planning how to, because this is Ghana, this is our country, this is our children. You know, what can we do to them to stand firm, and then they can take over when we are not there. You know, so this is why I said no. Let me open these Zoom clinics so that I can go and talk to them, you know, and tell them that this world nothing comes easy, you know, and respect takes you far, you know. So you have to learn. You have to. It's not only about boxing; it's about everything, you know. So that is why I decided to.
Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf, who graced the occasion, assured that the government will support the initiative.
To give opportunity to young people across Ghana, because it's not only in Accra. They are taking this program to Tamale, Takoradi, Kumasi, and Accra, and it will even expand to other regions going forward. The whole idea is for us to give opportunity to young people to also be nurtured and identify them, develop them to become great champions of the same achievement that he has achieved for our country. President here tells you that the government is so committed and making sure that whatever support that we have to put on the table to make this initiative a success, government will make sure that we put in a financial support to support this project. So and I'll take opportunity to also thank GCB Bank PLC and other partners for coming on board, because these are some of the things we have to. Anytime we see corporate support behind government and corporate Ghana working together, the success is enormous.
The Zoom Zoom clinics are designed to impart valuable life skills, promote health and fitness, and build resilience and discipline among youth.
Chris, wish Germany the very best, and not just Germany will be playing tomorrow. Portugal and France will also be in action tomorrow, and we'll bring you all the reactions after that game. That's all we've got for you in Prime Sports tonight with me, Razak Musbah. Thank you so much for your company, and do have a wonderful evening.